Hello there, bright minds! I hope you're having a smashing day. We're here again, Sir DJ, with our English learning buddy, Dan, to make sure you will learn and we will have fun while studying English. So have your pen and your paper ready, because hand in hand, we will once again explore the wonders of the universal language. Let's go! What do you think are these words? You're right. These are modals. Just like what we have talked about last time, modals are auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. We use these modals with the infinitive verb or the base form of the verb. Modals help the main verb, a very important part of the sentence, for it to be easily understood. In assisting the main verb, it got the name helping verb. Now I want you to think of us, Sir DJ and Dan, as modals. We are helping verbs, and today you are the main verb because we will help you be more familiar on how modals are used in our day-to-day conversations. Are you up for it? Come on! Let's start off with a simple activity where we will focus on asking and giving permission or a request in an appropriate way. Let's try what you already know about this by playing a short and fun game. Dan will be giving you a sentence for you to write down and tell me whether it is informal, formal, or very formal. Trust me, this will be so easy. Are you ready? Let's go! Can I have a popcorn? If your answer is informal sentence, then you are correct. Can is a modal that is used to show little formality. Here's the next one. You could use the newly decorated restroom. Is this a formal sentence? Yes, it is. As we've mentioned before, the modal could expresses more formality compared with can. What about this one? Students may refer to page 15 of their modules. If you think that this statement is very formal, then you are right. The modals may and might express a very formal way to ask or to give permission. Why should we know which modal is formal or informal? Well, that's because we want to be polite in using the English language.
We should always know what words would be most appropriate to a conversation we are involved in.
And as William Feather said, politeness is the most inexpensive way of making friends. With the right words, you can gain the most valuable treasure this world has to offer: friendship. Speaking of friends, have you ever heard of a pun? A pun is a joke exploiting the different possible meanings of a word, or the fact that there are words which sound alike but have different meanings. In short, puns are word plays. And puns are fun. Here's one. Why can't the bicycle stand on its own? Because it's too tired. Anyway, have your friends ever told you about this pun? Yes, you can, but you may not. For example, when you ask your friend if you can take a piece from her bag of chips, you say, "Can I have one?" But your friend will then crack one by saying, "Yes, you can, but you may not." Can I borrow your headphones? Yes, you can, but you may not. Can I go over your house to study? Yes, you can, but you may not. This old joke plays on different interpretations of can. You are asking for permission, but then your friend is talking about ability. This is due to the fact that some modals have multiple functions. Some people might say that the way you use can is incorrect, saying you should use may. May I have one? May I borrow your headphones? May I go over to your house to study? But as I have mentioned, you are talking to your friend here. So yeah, you can also use can. As well as making simple statements or asking questions, we may sometimes want to express our intentions and attitudes, talk about necessity and possibility, or make offers, requests, or suggestions. In these cases, models can be very helpful.
Models are used when we want to show our attitude in what we are saying.
Or when we are considering how the words we say will affect the person we are talking to. If I say, pick up the book, I might sound rude or bossy. The person I am talking to might be offended. But if I use a model and say, could you pick up the book? This will be sent as a polite request. The person I am talking to might obey willingly because he was asked in a very nice way. As we have told you before, modals are always followed by the base form of the verb. For example, we must bring our books tomorrow. You can't say that. Sometimes, a modal is followed by the base form of auxiliaries have or be. You can't be late. I must have left my bag at home. We know that can expresses permission, right? It can also be used to express ability. He can run for 3 hours. I can't lift that box. It's too heavy. She can sing very well. And the modal could can express an ability in the past. When he was younger, he could run for 3 hours. Last week, I couldn't lift that box. Before her surgery, she could sing very well. As I have mentioned a while ago, there are some modals that have multiple functions. Can and could are also used to suggest possible future actions. You can write this down if you want to. Our country can be very hot. She could miss the last full show. Note that can expresses a more definite possibility than could. If you want, I can bring my friends with me. If you want, I could bring my friends with me. Can shows that it is more likely that I will bring my friends, whereas there is uncertainty in using could in the second sentence. Could can be used to say that something is or was possibly true. My order could come late tonight. She could be working real hard on her assignment right now. There could be some trouble on the way up the mountain. On the other hand, can is sometimes used to say that something is generally possible. Smoking can damage your respiratory system. Being rude can make you lose friends. Summer in the Philippines can be very hot. Here are some fun facts. Higher level descriptions of English modal verbs often distinguish between two main types of meaning, described as intrinsic and extrinsic meanings. Intrinsic meanings are those which show human control over events, so they include meanings which are often described as necessity, permission, and willingness. On the other hand, extrinsic meanings are those which involve human judgment about what is or isn't likely to happen, often described as prediction or possibility. Modal verbs have both intrinsic and extrinsic uses. For instance, an intrinsic use of the modal verb can is in talking about permission. You can use my bag if you want. But an extrinsic use is in discussing possibility. For example, Manila can be very hot in summer. In some grammatical descriptions of modals, intrinsic meanings are described as deontic, and extrinsic meanings are described as epistemic. See how the modals can and could can have different functions? The same goes for must, have to, may, and might. Check out this example. The employees must wash their hands regularly. Someone's knocking. That must be the delivery guy. Notice that both sentences used must, but the meaning is different. The first sentence used the function that we talked about before, using must to express obligation, while the second sentence used it to show a possibility or a conclusion about who the person at the door might be. Must and have to are used to say that it is necessary that something happens or is done.
The beef strips must be fried quickly.
You have to book a hotel room in advance. Have to or have got to is used to describe necessity resulting from a situation which is not usually the speaker's decision. We have to pay the balance a month before we leave. You've got to take off your shoes before you can go in. Take note that have got to is less formal than have to and is more common in spoken English. However, have to is usually used with the past simple, especially for questions and negative structures. Why did you have to go there without me? We didn't have to fall in line. Must is sometimes used to draw conclusions about past, present, and future events. Must plus have plus the past participle is used to draw a conclusion about something that happened in the past. I heard that you moved out from your apartment. It must have been very hard doing it alone. Must plus be plus the verb in ing is used to draw a conclusion about something happening at the time of speaking. Dan is not here. He must be preparing the lessons for tomorrow. Must plus be plus the verb in ing are sometimes used to draw a conclusion about something that is likely to happen in the future. His car is outside. They must be leaving soon. In the previous episodes, we learned that may and might are used to ask or to give permission. Did you know that these modals can also express possibility? Listen to these examples. There may be other people waiting for you outside. I think the book might cost around 300 pesos. In informal speech, might is more common when we talk about what a person will possibly do in the future. He might go to your birthday party on Wednesday. Your teacher might collect your portfolio soon. On the flip side, may is used in formal descriptions. This duck egg may hatch in a few days from. See how modals can have so many functions? Believe it or not, these are just few of them. There are more ways on how our modals can be utilized in our sentences. Now, let's see how well you know your modals. For this activity, I will recite a poem and I want you to write down the modals used in the poem. While listening, you will then take note of how the modal was used and how did it help the verb in delivering a message. Are you ready? Make sure you have your pen and paper with you. Here we go. I can tie my shoe. When I was born, you were here. In your eye, I can see a tear. Time flies and already I'm two. Look, Pa, I can tie my shoe. Before you know it, I turned 6. Back then, I could only pick up sticks. Immediately, I turned 10. I can't even dance back then. I'm already 12 in my preteen years. You were always there so I could face my fears. 15, I finished high school. You said I have to look cool. At 19, I started to teach. You said success is within reach. You were always asking, you always bother, when will I be a grandfather? Another year down the road.
A lot of sweat and tears have flowed.
And then I was told, you can't stop getting old. Then your age sets in, and it scared me so. Not long after, you said you have to go. Now I regret not saying goodbye. When I think about it, I can't help but cry. I must look forward to the day when the little me might say, what I told you when I was 2. Look, Pa, I can tie my shoe. Were you able to write down the modals? I'm sure you did. I also hope you were able to understand what the poem is trying to tell us. Salute to our fathers who never left our side, in good times and in bad. Know that your efforts are greatly appreciated. You guys are heroes. And as Hercules said, a true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart. You did an amazing job in our activity. For that, you get a 2 thumbs up from your learning buddies, Sir DJ and Dan. For your assignment, I want you to compose an appreciation post using the modals you've written down from our poem. Try to come up with a short message that would express our appreciation to our dear fathers who never got tired of protecting us and keeping us safe. As a title, you can use using the universal language to honor our universal heroes. You can upload your outputs online using the hashtag #TheUniversalHeroes. And in the next episode, Jan and I will read the best output we can find online. Are you ready for that? I'm sure you are. And that concludes our episode today. I can't believe we're already done. I hope you had an amazing time with us today, your English learning buddies, Dan and Sir DJ. And hey, I hope to see you again in the next episode because we are going to talk about another exciting topic about the English subject. Interested? Then tune in with us again next time. And as I always say, remember to never stop learning because life never stops teaching. See you in the next one. Bye!